Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the best cheap web hosting providers. There are a lot of different web hosting companies out there. Some of them are fantastic value and other ones are very expensive. Now, I have spent some time going through all of the different hosting providers out there, and I have narrowed it down to 3 of the best. In this video, we will go through, compare each of these hosting providers and what you actually get to get the number one, the best cheap hosting provider on the market. Before we jump into this, if you do want to grab any of the hosting providers mentioned in this video, I will leave links down below. Of course, there are affiliate links, so I will earn a small kickback on any sale that comes through them at no extra cost to you. On top of this, if you do use those links, you will be able to get the best possible discount on all of the hosting providers mentioned in this video. Okay, so there are 3 hosting providers that we have on this list. We have Hostinger, we have HostGator, and we also have AccuWeb. As you can see with all of these, looking at the pricing right here, these are definitely on the cheaper end of the spectrum when it comes to web hosting. Keep in mind that cheaper does not necessarily mean bad. And some of the hosting providers mentioned on this list, I would much rather use over some much more expensive hosting providers that are out there. So what we are going to do in this video is take a look at all of these different hosting providers, take a look at the different plans that you get, and figure out which one of these 3 is actually the best cheap hosting provider. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is these prices right here are not the prices that you will pay if you are paying this month by month. For Hostinger, the price shown right here is the price for the 4-year plan, as Hostinger allows you to buy monthly plans, 12-month plans, 2-year plans, and 4-year plans. HostGator is slightly different with this, allowing you to purchase 1 month, 1 year, and 3 years. And then AccuWeb is going to be the same at 1 month, 1 year, and 3 years. So keep that in mind if there's something specific you are looking for, like if you are specifically looking for a 2-year or a 4-year plan, then Hostinger might be the best option. Alternatively, if you are looking for a 3-year plan, then you might be better off going with HostGator or AccuWeb. Either way, the plan that I recommend for most people is going to be this yearly plan. I do not recommend the 1-month plan with any of these providers, as you don't get a free domain name. And with Hostinger, you even have to pay a setup fee. But looking at the 1-year plan for each of these hosting providers, AccuWeb is going to come in at $4.49 per month. HostGator is coming in at $3.95 per month. And then Hostinger is going to be the cheapest for this 12-month plan at $3.19 per month. However, if we now compare each of these standard plans, so the basic plans on each of these, let's start out with the storage. So with Hostinger, we are going to get 100 gigabytes of SSD storage. HostGator is going to give us a lot less, so 10 times less at only 10 gigabytes. And we really have 2 opposite ends of the spectrum here. With Hostinger, honestly, this is a little bit overkill, like 100 gigabytes. If you are only creating 1 or 2 websites, you're never really going to use all of this. Whereas with HostGator, this is very stingy. And if you are creating 1 or 2 websites, especially if you are installing plugins, especially if you are uploading videos and images, you're going to go through this very quickly. And then with AccuWeb, we get 50 gigabytes of storage right here. So nice, it's right in the middle, and I would say this is an appropriate amount of storage to get. AccuWeb is also going to allow us to create 1 website. HostGator is also going to allow us to create 1 website, whereas Hostinger is going to allow us to create 100 websites. So once again, it really depends on what you are looking for. I would assume most people are only looking to create 1 website, so this isn't really going to be an issue. However, if you are looking to create multiple websites, then Hostinger is going to be by far the best option. Another important thing with this is that with Hostinger and HostGator, we are going to get a free domain in this first year, as long as you go for the yearly plan or higher. So if I go to add this to the cart right here, if I go with the 12 months, we get a free domain for the first year. However, with the monthly, we do not get this free domain included. It's the exact same over here on HostGator. However, with AccuWeb, we actually don't get a free domain, no matter what plan we go for. So if I go in here and we go for any of these hosts right here, let's even go for 3 years. So with 3 years, you would expect to definitely get one. But if we go to enter a domain right here, let's just say test, and then a load of numbers. They still make you pay for the domain. So that is something to keep in mind with AccuWeb, is that even if you go for the yearly plan or higher, you are still going to have to buy a domain, which you are not going to have to do with HostGator or Hostinger, which brings the price even higher. The final thing that I'm going to look at when it comes to the cheapest version of each of these plans is what is the actual cost when buying for 1 year. So I now have all of these in my cart. We have the 12-month plan. We also have a domain for each of these. So the price on Hostinger is going to be $45 or $46, I should say, for this first year. HostGator is going to be $62, so a lot more expensive. And then AccuWeb is going to be $53. And once again, this includes the domain. So even with paying that extra $15 for the domain, AccuWeb is still going to be cheaper than Hostinger for 1 year on the cheapest plan. And then Hostinger, it has by far the best statistics, and it is the cheapest, coming in at $46. So if you do want to go for the least expensive of any of these plans, then Hostinger is by far going to be the best. Now, to let you guys know what I personally do, for all of my WordPress hosting, and I have made a lot of WordPress tutorials on this channel, I always choose Hostinger as my hosting provider, and I always go for this business plan. The reason for this is because between the premium and the business, what I have found, and this really goes for any of these alongside here, so the same with HostGator and AccuHosting, the lowest plan, the premium, especially with this standard performance, it just doesn't perform to the level that I need it to, especially when I'm plugging in a lot of different plugins, a lot of different features. It's going to slow the website down. However, the business does this fantastically with this increased performance. It handles absolutely everything that I need to, keeps the website loading super quickly. And honestly, this is the reason I don't even go with Cloud Startup, because business is just good enough in itself. But once again, let's compare the medium plans right here. So Hostinger, once again, no difference in the websites that you can create, sticking with 100 websites. Whereas with HostGator, we go from being allowed to create one website to now being allowed to create two. And then AccuWeb just slams it down here and says, okay, you can now build unlimited website with this. That does sound awesome. However, there are some limitations that make it almost impossible to build unlimited websites. The main thing being this 75 gigabytes of storage. You'd struggle to build 3 websites on this, maybe even 2 if you have 2 relatively big websites. So although we do technically get unlimited websites, we are very limited by the amount of storage that it gives, here at 75 gigabytes. With HostGator, we get, wow, this is really bad, 20 gigabytes of SSD storage. For this to be the medium plan, the fact that it says we can build 2 websites and we are only getting 20 gigabytes of storage, I'm not a huge fan of this plan. And then with Hostinger, we take it to the next level. We get 200 gigabytes of NVMe storage. So you will see with these other ones, we have SSD. And then it just says gigabytes right here. I would assume this is SSD as well. However, Hostinger gives us NVMe storage, which makes the loading times and effectively the storage overall is a lot faster. So that's another benefit of Hostinger right there. With this plan, Hostinger also switches from weekly to daily backups, which is very nice once as well, especially if you are editing your blog on a daily basis or you are constantly making changes to your website. This can be very handy in case you install a plugin wrong or the website just messes up. You can go back and grab yesterday's backup and everything will be fixed. With the other two, so HostGator and AccuWeb, they actually have daily backups with any of these plans. So as you can see right here, all your files are backed up daily and it can be restored with a single click. So this is for all of these plans. And then AccuWeb is the same. So for all of these plans, we are going to get free daily backups. So those are the main things right there. What you can also do is if you are debating between two, then you can just come down here and take a look at the in-detailed features. But I want to keep this video nice and short, so I'm only going to go over the main major features. Once again, let's add all of these to the cart right here. and we will go for a 1-year plan on all of these and compare the price once again. Now, interestingly, this time AccuWeb is the most expensive by quite a big margin, up at $90 for this plan on the yearly time frame. HostGator is quite significantly cheaper, coming in at $75. And then once again, Hostinger, even though it has the best statistics once again, this is only $72, so almost $3 cheaper than HostGator, and well, both of these are a lot cheaper than AccuWeb. So with that said, I am going to end the video here. With the Cloud Startup and the more premium plans with any of these, we are kind of getting away from the entire point of a cheap hosting provider. But if you are in the small number of people who specifically do want this plan, then you can head over to Hostinger and just check this out. However, what I would say is really the only difference between this is an increased performance and a dedicated IP address. That's all you're getting for the extra money right here. With HostGator, we do get some pretty nice upgrades. So from 2 to 3 websites, we double the SSD storage. However, this is still pretty bad. And we also do get a few other things. With AccuWeb, we stay with unlimited websites, get a 25% upgrade in storage, and a few other things. However, once again, even for this more expensive plan, Hostinger is going to be the best. So if there is one thing that you can take away from this video, it's that overall, the best cheap hosting provider that I would recommend is not even a question going to be Hostinger, and the plan that I would recommend on here is going to be this business plan. With this in mind, if you do want to sign up to Hostinger, remember the affiliate link down in the description. That will allow you to get the best possible deal, the biggest possible discount when you get your hosting with Hostinger. So those are the best cheap web hosting providers. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.